All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to learn how to make simple paper pumpkins you can use to add some festive autumn decor to your library or as a fun fall break craft. You can also use the same technique to make Christmas ornaments or other holiday decorations. For our presenter, we have Jennifer Fuchikami, and she uses the term the artist librarian to describe her educational background of a BA in studio art and her MLIS Master's in Library Science. Besides representing her two passions, it also reflects her goal to instill a lifelong love of reading, creativity, and learning in all patrons regardless of age. She adores being a youth services librarian and is happy to welcome children, teens, and other families back to library spaces. All right, Jen, take it away.
Okay, awesome. Thanks everybody for coming. All right, and then today I am making, we are making these paper pumpkins. And it's pretty easy to do. It'll be great, as we said, to decorate your library or even like a fall break craft if you need something to do with your kids. So all you need is some colored paper or like scrapbooking paper that has the double-sided patterns are really great as well. And then like scrap cardboard for the stem. I guess I'll just leave this here. And paper cutter, or if you want to measure and cut it by hand, you can do that with scissors, which you will also need. And you can use double-sided tape. I have regular tape today, but if you have double-sided tape, that comes in really handy. And then you'll definitely need a hot glue gun. Okay. So to get started, we are going to cut the paper. So we're going to cut it the long way. So your strips are going to be 11 inches long. Okay. And we're going to make 1.5 inch strips. And you'll need 2 pieces of paper. To make 1 pumpkin. And then for the last strip you're making, I discovered it's actually better to make the 2 of the strips a shorter width. As you can see in my sample where I made a Christmas ornament, if you make the top and bottom medallions just a little bit smaller, it kind of makes more of a circular or a spherical shape instead. So I'm going to cut this last piece into 1.25 inch. So I'll have 2 at the end that are 1.25 inch. Okay. And then with all of your strips, we're going to keep 4 of them at 11 inches. That's the one in the back here. We're going to cut 2 of them to be 9 inches. Or I'm sorry, we're going to actually make 4 of these to be 9 inches. And then with the ones that are 1 1/4 inch, the ones that are a little bit narrower, that again, it's going to be the top and bottom. We're going to make those 7 inches. And oh. And actually, for 2 of the pumpkins, or sorry, for 2 of the 9-inch strips, actually, you're going to want to make that 1 1/4 strip also, because that's going to be the bottom of the pumpkin. My bad. So, and then once you have all of your strips here, you're going to pleat them. And so you can either pleat from the bottom all the way to the top. What some people like to do with the longer strips, especially just to make sure it's mostly straight, is they will fold it in half and then they'll do the accordion fold like so. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be turning them into medallions. So if you don't have to worry about it being exact. And then I'm making these folds about 1/2 inch. And again, you don't have to measure it or anything. You can just eyeball it. If you aren't sure what about 1/2 inch is, you can measure like the first one, and then you can even use your table and kind of just use what you've already folded as a guideline and like push against the table here and press down. So you can fold them up pretty quickly. And so you'll end up doing that to all of your strips. So for this example, I have the 7-inch long strips. And after you pleat them, you're going to just, so you'll take the 2 of the 7-inch long strips and we're going to tape it together. So if you had double stick tape, you could put it just like that. All right, there we go. And then we're gonna make a tube with it. So you're gonna join the other end like so. Okay. There we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to connect, we're going to turn these into medallions. So what we're going to do is place it on your table, and then you're going to kind of hold it steady like this, And then this is when you would have your glue gun. And I don't have an outlet here, but so I'm not going to be able to actually do this. But just hold it here, and then you would place a little bit of glue in the middle, and then push it together, and then hold it about 15 to 20 seconds or until the glue sets. And then after you do that, it'll look something like this. And so you're going to be doing that with each of the pairs. So you'll have two of the 11-inch strips, and then two of the 11-inch strips here. And then you'll have two of the 9-inch strips. You'll have two of the 9-inch strips here. And then the 7-inch strips. And then if you're using the cutting method I showed earlier, these guys would actually be a little bit shorter because we trimmed them. And then you'll take more hot glue and you'll stick it on the top here. And basically you're just layering the medallions on top of each other. So you would put some glue here and then place it on top, hold it until the glue sets, and then add the next one here. And then again, if you cut the width a little bit shorter at the beginning, you'll get that tapered effect, like so. And then to finish it off, what you can do is grab a tiny scrap piece of cardboard to make the stem. And then I like to kind of just bend it a little bit to curve. And so you can make the stem as wide or as short as you want. And then you would hot glue it there. And then for the pumpkin leaves, I kind of just freehanded some heart shapes out of my green paper. And then I also crumpled it a little, just a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of texture. And then you can hot glue it here. And then that's basically it. You can play around with the different sizes of the strips you use and the width. Again, I think trimming the bottom and the top to be a little bit shorter than your 3 inner layers will make the pumpkin look a lot better. So that's what I did for this Christmas ornament here. And you can even use like old books. I think that looks pretty cool. And then this one had illustrations in it too. So I have some color from there. And then you can also do different fruits. Like you could do, if you have orange paper, just change the leaf shape to be more like teardrops, or even don't put the leaf, and then you can have an orange. You can make an apple with red paper. If you use like brown paper, you could even make like a pine cone. And you could even stack more of these and make a longer oblong shape. So yeah, it's pretty easy technique. I think that's everything, unless anyone has any questions.
Hi, Jen. So for the ornaments, the little tie, do you just super glue or hot glue the loop?
Yeah.
Is the fabric?
So this one's fabric because I didn't have any ribbon hanging around, but I think ribbon definitely would be easier to do. But yeah, I just hot glued it on the top. I think if I wanted to make sure it would be more secure, I would even like slide it into one of these pleats and then hot glue it, or put the hot glue there and then slide into one of these pleats and close it. But since these are pretty light, it's not too bad. The hot glue should be able to hold it. Yeah.
Nice. That's a really cool and cute
Yeah.
idea. I like that you could play around and get creative. I like the usage of the book paper. It's really cool.
Yeah, and you can use different things for it too, like besides decorating the library, if you're like doing like place settings for like Thanksgiving or something for Halloween. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could even like cut out like a jack-o'-lantern face, like just like the black triangles or whatever, and you could stick those on here too. Probably want to hot glue it on. Yeah, and I did kind of try, I did try to use some other glues like white glue and things like that. The only thing is because it takes so long to dry,
Mhm.
and you've got the force of like the pleats, and you're trying to hold it in here so it will stay once it's glued, but I think just using the hot glue is easier for that part. So if you're doing it with kids, definitely supervise or do the hot glue part for them, but they can definitely do the folding.
Oh, that's really cool. Does anybody have any questions for Jen? Any suggestions? Oh,
Let's see if I can see.
well, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and thank you again, Jen, for teaching us this really cool and cute craft. You've been really helpful in teaching us some ideas to decorate the libraries or office. Well, this concludes our program, kind of a short one this month. I want to thank you for joining us today. And the next month's program was still in progress of developing, so look out for your email. We'll send out an invite later. Today's program is made possible through HLA members like you. And to join or to continue support HLA, please check out our social media accounts. All right. Again, thank you, Jennifer, and thank you those who have joined us. Have a nice day.
Awesome. Thank you guys.